Today's conversation, friends, is the law of cause and effect. So if you've been here for a little bit and you've noticed that in the last few videos, I have spent a lot of time talking about the monopole, and I'm going to continue to do that because the mechanics of human design are beautiful. They're excellent. I love the system. We know that. That's why you're here. I have like a library of 500 videos talking about it. However, one of the things that is constantly missed is the magic that actually is held in the monopole. So the monopole keeps you grounded, and it also has full access to the ethers. So the higher self, the driver, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So why do I want to go down the law of cause and effect today? Here's why. So in my last video that I think you can see here somewhere, is talks about the torus field and understanding the torus field and how that torus field flows through that monopole, goes out, and then brings those experiences back in so that your monopole can have the experience it's designed to. So when I think about the monopole and I think about the driver has already typed into the GPS where the destination is. The driver knows all of the roadside stops that could be possibly happening along this pathway to destination. The driver has access to the control panel, understanding, is there enough fuel in the vehicle? Are the tires aired up properly? Has the engine been looked at? Is there enough grease in all of the wheel bearings? So the driver's very aware of the physical body, the destination, and the driver also knows who's the passenger back there, and where do they want to go? What do they want to see? So I think that in the design community, we forget about the monopole because we are so focused in on the passenger becoming passenger consciousness, which I totally get because we are designed to be aware. However, we cannot disregard the monopole because the driver is such a huge part of us. Okay. Now, so when we look at that triad, right, we have the passenger consciousness, we have the car or the design or the body, and we have the driver. Okay. When we look at that triad, we want to always be, bringing this together. Now I'm bringing in the laws of the universe because we can't forget that the mechanical piece of this, right, the mechanics of human design, they have to be animated. Well, how are they being animated? Through the laws of the universe and how our minds are working. Okay. So as Ross said, we are in the cosmic ajna. If you look at the Hermetic principles, if you look at Neville Goddard, if you look at the Bible, if you look at any philosophers, they will tell you that the mind is the seat and the understanding of this whole entire thing. Okay. So the scientific community still has no clue about all aspects of the mind. Why? Because it is a formless substance. It's formless. So they can't quite figure it out. However, we're going to keep playing with it and use it to our advantage so that we can actually get what we want. I know that is such a controversial statement in the human design community. No, you're supposed to sit back and just let life happen to you. No. No. You are in this earth realm, and this earth realm is saying to you, you are in a mental construct. And this mental construct, you are designed to use your mind, the correct mind, not the mind that we're going to talk about a little bit today. You're designed to use that higher self, that consciousness field, that field of potential. Okay. You're designed to connect with that. You can call it universal mind, cosmic mind, source, whatever you want, whatever you want to call it. You're designed to connect with that. Your monopole is always connected to it. You cannot be not connected. Okay. So the law of cause and effect, where you want to go with this is you want to become super aware of what is happening in your mind. So the subconscious, okay, the subconscious mind, this is the mind that really doesn't have a filter. And what do I mean by that? It lets in all kinds of opinions and beliefs, and then it narrates and it creates a story about you, not about the outside world. Okay. It's always creating a story about you compared to the outside world, or you and why you should not get out of your comfort zone. It's always doing this because the subconscious mind is no different than a young child who is super afraid. Okay. Because that afraid little child has been told that the outside world is bad. Okay. So if you go back into like an even deeper part of the subconscious, when you were just a little one, like very little, uh, you were fearless. You got up, you walked, you learned to ride a bike, you did these kind of things because all of the outside world hadn't implanted a whole bunch of stuff inside of there yet. But so you got up and walked, and then you heard your mom, be careful, don't hurt yourself. All of a sudden it's like, oh, walking, I could hurt myself if I walk. Now all of a sudden these tiny little fear particles start to live in the subconscious mind. So we want to be very aware of what's happening in the subconscious mind, because there is a cause that creates an effect. And that cause is always coming from the subconscious mind. So we want to be able to recognize what's in the subconscious mind. Okay. So what are all the things that the passenger is thinking about? What are all the things that the passenger thinks that you are? You want to understand that, because that's the human mind. You want to understand your human mind so that you can actually connect with the field of potential and that higher self, so that you can actually see a different life, so that your vehicle can be primed and ready to go at any moment when the strategy and authority is kicked into gear, that passenger consciousness, or even, the backseat driver that the passenger wants to be, doesn't hold you back. So on my website, I have 9 different journals to help you go deeper into each one of the centers, because you have to become aware of all of that narration. Because what you were thinking yesterday, or 5 days ago, a month, or a year ago is dictating what you're seeing out your eyes today. Because most of the Western society, what has happened is our imaginations have been completely stripped from us. I was also there. Okay. I said to myself, oh, I'm not creative, I'm not imaginative, blah, blah, blah. All of these things happened until I went, hold on a minute. I have evidence that is opposite to that. And I'm going to give you an example right now. So about 18, 19 years ago, when I worked at the financial institution that I worked at, I wanted a Monte Carlo, a Pontiac Monte Carlo. It's a sports car. I loved it, wanted it, right? They're beautiful vehicles. At the time, I was driving oh goodness, a different Pontiac, anyways, and I wanted an upgrade. So I went online, I looked at the cars, and I knew what I wanted. 2-door, beautiful white with red pinstripes on it. I had it, I visualized it. I saw it in my driveway. I looked online, I saw all the interior. It's exactly what I wanted. Okay. So I go to the dealership, and guess what? They have a white one, red pinstripes, ready to go. I purchase it. Okay. However, in between me coming into the dealership and having a conversation with the salesperson, he's like, okay, let's go for a test drive. And I knew that I was already taking the car home. I didn't really need to take a test drive, but he wanted to, so we did. But as we were walking up to the vehicle and opening up the door, this vehicle went by on the road and hollered, "You're too fat for that car." Now at the time, yes, I was overweight. I weighed 200 pounds and 5'1". Yeah, I was overweight, 100%. But my imagination and my capacity to hold that image of that car being in my driveway, that belief that they had no access to being planted in my mind, had no access, because I already had filled up my subconscious mind with the image of that vehicle being in my driveway. So whatever that happened on the outside, that circumstance, it didn't get implanted. Why? Because there was no room in my subconscious mind for it. I had the awareness and the wherewithal that that car was coming home with me. I got in the car. I'm telling you, that memory is like right there. I can tell you exactly the breeze that day. I can tell you the temperature that day. I can tell you what I was wearing. I can tell you exactly where that vehicle was on the lot compared to the road and where this vehicle went by and said this. I can, like, everything's right there. It's very vivid, but I didn't believe it. I knew that it wasn't true because I already knew that that vehicle was coming home with me. So we went for our test drive. We come back. I signed the documents, handed Buddy a check, and a couple hours later, after they, redetailed it and went through it, my husband and I drove it home. So why am I telling you this story? Is because you have to become aware of what is in your subconscious mind. Is your subconscious mind absolutely filled with the imagination of where you want to go and what you want to do and who you want to be? Or is it filled with beliefs, opinions, and stories that absolutely are keeping you in the cause and effect of what we would call Groundhog Day or squirrel life living, where it's like you're running around on this treadmill and you're feeling pure resistance all the time. And you come to human design and you're like, oh, finally something is going to help me navigate. And then you find that you're in human design for a while and there's still resistance because what's happening in the mind has not yet been explored. Human design is very mechanical. It teaches you exactly how to navigate. Okay. It teaches you exactly, to let go and let your energy field of your 26 activations on each side, just let them shine through you. However, it doesn't teach you how to become aware of what's in the subconscious mind. And that, my friends, is where you must go in order to have a different effect in your life. You must understand and be very aware of the cause that's going on inside of the subconscious mind. Again, there's a whole ton of journals that can help you do this. Or if you want live, real interactive energy, come into the True Mentorship. In May, we're going to start increasing it to 8 times a month, where you can be in the presence of live people 8 times a month. I also have others that want to start, just doing pop, like just random times and going in there and doing lives. Okay. So the community is growing, and it's growing because people are desiring a new outcome. Know that the cross of the cross of planning and the cross of Maia that has been, very deeply implanted in the last 411 years. It has created a delusional energy where we forgot what our own truth is. We forgot that with the advent of the internet and the news and movies and music, we were hypnotized into believing a whole bunch of things that actually aren't true. And the cross of planning planned our lives for 411 years. But that's all changing, where you will now connect with all aspects of yourself, including your monopole, including your driver. All of the laws of the universe are here to work with you. So you just got to break the hypnotic trance, recognize what's in the subconscious programming, reprogram that energy field by really having conversations internally, being a different you each and every day, no matter what's going on the outside. So for example, when I'm purchasing the sports car, I could have, right? I could have heard that, statement, you're too fat for the car. I could have believed it, and I could have left that car on the lot, became a victim to that statement, and made that my reality. But I didn't, because I didn't believe it. I already knew that the car was mine. I already saw it in my driveway. I had already, done every kind of imaginative work that I could to make sure that that vehicle was coming home with me that day. And it did. So this is the work that we get into. And this is where we're moving to. So if you're ready to let go of where you are, all those limitations, and I hear them a lot. I hear all kinds of limitations, especially in the Facebook groups. There's so many limitations. Your human design is not designed to limit you. It is designed to show you how to navigate with ease. Okay? All right, friends, take care. Hopefully, you can do the work, find out what's in the subconscious mind, and allow for a new effect through your eyes to be seen in this 3D world.